Call the meeting to order. This is the Park and Recreation Commission meeting for Thursday, August 17th, 2023. We are at Regner Park and we do have a quorum. Joining me for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Face east.
Face east. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First item of business is the approval of the minutes for the Park and Recreation meeting from June. There's a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Carried. Unfinished business. Permission to proceed with the Ice Age Trail improvements at Regner Park.
Yes, Parks, Recreation, and Forestry is requesting permission to proceed with Ice Age Trail improvements that will provide a more direct connection at West Washington Street between trail segments in Glacial Blue Hills to the north and Regner Park. The new trailhead will be located at the vacant property between 2375 and 2395 West Washington Street. This property was purchased by the Ice Age Trail Alliance and donated to West Bend Parks in May of 2017. In the sale and donation of this property, there is a stipulation it be named Strickland Marth Trailhead. Trail users currently must detour approximately 3,300 feet along the sidewalk of North University Drive to access the Ridge Run portion of the trail. The improvements include 900 feet of new at-grade trail, a 50-foot by 4-foot custom footbridge over Silver Creek, and a 150-foot by 4-foot boardwalk over wetland connecting the bridge to the Ridge Run Trail. Construction of the boardwalk as well as trail clearing and construction will be performed by Ice Age Trail members. The footbridge construction will be contracted by Ice Age Trail Alliance. Upon approval, Parks, Recreation, and Forestry Department and Department of Development will continue working with Ice Age Trail Alliance for a conditional use permit for work within the flood land pending finalization of structural engineering and state permitting.
Well, I think it's a good thing. Let's put it that way. It's good, instead of walking down the road, you're going to be through a beautiful piece of property and connected. So,
Right, where it comes out, it's a controlled intersection for people to cross, and it's kind of a no-brainer.
That's correct.
Is there any other discussion? Otherwise, I'd be looking for a motion to approve it.
Motion approved. Second.
Motion and second. Any other discussion on it? Otherwise, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Carried. That'll be great. New business. Glacial Blue Hills project, Boy Scout presentation.
Hi, my name is Ayla Abraham. I am a Girl Scout, and I am working on my Girl Scout Gold Board. My Girl Scout Gold Board is going to take place at Glacial Blue Hills City Park, and I am building a skills course to help beginner and beyond riders just improve their skills and have a great time while they're riding. I do have project plan. So, sorry, it's kind of small. But
Can you get that with the camera? Or is that possible?
So this bike skills course will allow mountain bikers of all skill levels to work on their bike handling skills. And then they will also give bikers just a place to continue to enjoy themselves while they are at the park in general. I know that there's a lot of social events that happen at this park, and I want to just add another element of enjoyment to the park. So my project plan is going to consist of approximately 4 features. They're all going to be wooden features to increase the sustainability of the project and reduce the amount work that needs to be done over the years. So I plan to build a teeter-totter. You really can't see it right now, but there are a bunch of measurements and everything. I've been working on this with my grandpa, and this is kind of what the teeter-totter is going to look like. And then I also have this elevated skinny. This might end up not happening because of time, but this is definitely something that I would enjoy working on. And then another one is a wooden roller. So this is kind of, it's hard to describe, but
Like a bike roller coaster.
yeah, kind of like a bike roller coaster. So if you can see the picture, it's kind of a smaller version of this. And then this is also kind of hard to see. This is a short skinny. So it's a piece of wood on the ground, and it's got some supports on the side just to make sure that it stays stable. And riders can go on top of it, and they basically try to stay on top of it the whole time. So it's kind of practicing balance and bike handling as well. So the project is approved, and I worked with a committee member with Girl Scouts, and it's approved, and I just need to organize time to build it and just work on the trail and just getting it out there. So that's my project.
Do other parks have features like this?
Yeah, a lot of the mountain biking parks have skills courses, features.
The scouts have been doing wonderful things out there. Coming up with all those ideas, it's great.
Yeah, she met with the Gears group and we looked through all of our plans. And it's very satisfied with what she's planning to do.
So you're basically just looking for the space, is it?
Yeah, so the parking lot off of Beaver Dam Road is going to be, if you've been out there,
It's just west of the parking lot.
yeah,
Kind of shelter. Yeah,
Yes.
next to the shelter.
And there's no issues with the park department or anything?
No, we think it's great. Oh,
thank you.
No brainer. You want to make a motion?
Yeah, I'm moved to approve.
There's a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Otherwise, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, good job.
Thank you.
Next is a special event, the Wisconsin Riders Pig Roast Benefit, Saturday, September 9th.
all right, I'll take that one. The Wisconsin Riders Pig Roast and the West Bend Police Department hold this annual event here in Regner Park. This year it is scheduled for September 9th. Standard special event information goes through our clerk's office for a city event. And insurance, you have the $1 million liability insurance and all that. So anything they would need for their event, alcohol, permits, tents and all that all goes through the clerk's office. So this evening would be the standard request for approval from the commission for the event in the park. Our staff would provide just general support with setup and prep. And we are again requesting that the fees would be waived because this is a police department event, and that is also in line with the commission's policy for departments that are hosting community events like this. It's a big fundraiser. It's a big fundraiser for PD.
Motion to approve. And there's a second. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Carried. Another special event, NAMI, Washington County, afternoon in the park, Saturday, September 30th.
Kiwanis stick right, Mike.
Oh, first let's do special event, the Kiwanis Steak Fry, Tuesday, September 12th.
Again, this is an annual event here in the park. All city permits go through the city clerk's office, and then the event-specific items before the commission this evening. They will be using Regner Park. They will be selling alcohol and things like that. You can see the fees down below for $490. Those are standard fees for an event such as this.
We have this in there every year.
Yep.
Is there a motion to approve? Motion approved. And there's a second. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Carried. Now we can do the NAMI Washington County Afternoon in the Park, Saturday, September 30th.
National Alliance on Mental Health or Mental Illness, that organization is working with our West Bend Police Department, specifically Detective Stacy Bruss on hosting this event. Last year was their initial event. This year, a year or two. Again, permits through the clerk's office, general liability insurance. On our end, down below, we have the fees associated with it. And one discussion item that I finally got confirmation on today that is not in your memo is the organization is requesting to have therapy dogs at their event. Dogs are not allowed in Regner Park or out at Lac La Rand. So that would be, if you approve this, please mention, if you approve the event with the therapy dogs, we would request that you, when you make that motion, to include yes, the dogs, or no. So,
Aren't therapy dogs really allowed anywhere anyways? I mean, can we really tell somebody
I
that?
think they would be, Justice, but I didn't want to not bring it before the commission. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure we were recognizing it, and I also wanted to make sure that if the commission approves it, I would contact the police department as a reminder that, hey, we have an event in Regner Park that has been approved by the commission and does or does not allow dogs. It's up to the
It
commission.
is a one-time thing. And
That's what I was,
Yeah.
one-time thing, because the next guy coming around said, hey,
Right.
you left this, you let somebody else do it.
Yep.
It's,
And we've had requests like this before the commission in the past. We've had pony rides and horses and things like that in the park, and there's requests like this have come before the commission. Yeah, so it's nothing new. It's a public event. It's their event, but anyone from the public can come. So, and again, dogs in Regner Park, one of the big reasons why at that point in time the commission was not in favor of it was a swim pond, special events. I think my dog's cute. The rest of the community might not think my dog is cute at a special event, that sort of thing, so.
And they'll be leashed and everything too,
Yep.
so. Justin?
Motion.
Justice made a motion to approve. Is there a
one time,
Does that include the therapy dog?
when somebody else comes up against, it comes again, we'll vote on it, but I said one time, okay.
right? Is there,
I'll second.
and Michael second it? Any other discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Donations. Friends of Sculpture, the bison sculpture.
Yes, my name is Nicole Nats, I'm president of West Bend Friends of Sculpture. I have a short statement if anyone wants to bear with me. I know a lot of you have seen photographs of bison. I know Justice had posted some. And I think, Mike, had you circulated? some?
Yes, yeah. We have some photos,
And that's my chihuahua.
and that's your dog.
To give you size, that's not a full-size collie. It's a life-size piece.
Yeah.
So, my dog really loves that sculpture. So, West Bend Friends of Sculpture is seeking your approval to place our newest acquisition, Bison in Continuity, by Green Bay artist Ken Hutchinson, along the Riverfront Parkway adjacent to the Fireman's Memorial Love Site. West Bend Friends of Sculpture gives careful consideration when selecting sculptures and setting these sculptures for the greater West Bend community. And hope that, what our goal is to relate them to the community and Wisconsin as a whole, both past and present. So why did we decide to purchase the bison? Artist Ken Hutchinson of Green Bay reached out to our organization in May with a proposal to purchase the bison after its Green Bay exhibition. Hutchinson offered had several offers from private collectors, but Hutchinson believed in that the piece should be shown as a public art piece. It's unusual to find, believe it or not, an artist working on large-scale public art in the Midwest, much less Wisconsin. In our own collection, we have over 50 pieces, and there are fewer than 12 artists that are actually from Wisconsin. I met with Ken myself to look at the piece and was impressed by the passion and research he put behind the piece. Ken consulted with the animal biologist, Charlie Frisk, at the Wildlife Sanctuary of Green Bay and spent several hours studying the beast's anatomy, its behavior, and also the importance of the bison to the indigenous people of Wisconsin. Admittedly, I was not entirely sure that bison even roamed through Wisconsin prior to naming Kent. I had to look it up myself. But indeed, bison were present in Wisconsin, and in fact, they were as close as they were within Washington County. Many of you know that the bison is often associated with the Native American culture. Wisconsin is currently home to 11 federally recognized tribes, including the Oneida, Ho-Chunk, and the NAMI, just to name a few. Additionally, and of interest, the ethology or behavioral aspects of bison, despite their size, are rather quick and agile. They run up to 35 miles an hour, which is, I have no idea. And it turns out they're quite fearless creatures. They instinctively run towards storms rather than retreating, which I thought would be a great connection to the brave firefighters whom the Firemen's Memorial Block is dedicated to. If you are convinced the bison has a place in our collection, I have one more little tidbit of information. There are over 7,000 bison in the state of Wisconsin currently that are being farmed annually. And then we can't forget about the small herd of bison that are peacefully living at Shalom, just a few miles north of Marth. Back to Westbury Friends of Sculpture. Keeping in mind that we're an arts organization, we believe that the piece is very well constructed and possesses a masterful tension and liveliness. I'm an art historian, and for me, the bison evokes styles like Pablo Picasso or Marcel Duchamp were artistic rivals, both of whom experimented with the Cubist or deconstructed style during the early 1920s. My professor, Jason Yee, is on our board. He actually really enjoys the piece and said that he has the Legend of the White Snake piece that's outside of MoA that our organization donated to the Museum of Wisconsin Art. And he believes the bison will broaden our organization and the community's cultural and stylistic appeal. Good public art has the ability to stop us in our tracks, learn something new, start conversations, and draw in new visitors, and enhance pride in our community. For me, just the piece alone started conversations about, who is this animal, where is its place in the community. I feel like all those things, especially with Westbury Friends of Sculpture, we do tours for school groups. And, for really anybody who comes in and says, I'd like a tour. So we tell them a little bit about our piece. And I think this piece in particular lends itself to, a lot of great conversations about Wisconsin as a whole, and as well as art history and art styles. So we believe that bison continuity can do all those things in our community. But I'm going to hand it over to Justice because we're specifically looking at Barton as a site. The whole river walk, I think that's kind of the end spot where people come up on that hill. And again, I'm not originally from this area, but when I went up there, I was like, gosh, this is one of the most beautiful, beautiful sites. And it's so close to Barton. And I don't think a lot of people, make their way into Barton as much as they possibly should. But Justice has a really great perspective on the bison and what it means to his community. And so, Justice, I'm going to hand it over to you.
Yeah, and we just, as the part of the end of the tour that we just did around the parks, the current parks, stuff that the park is going on with the parks currently now, we ended up there and kind of gave a brief description of what's going on. In fact, the Friends of Sculpture group has made it their focus this year, which I take personally, I think that's fantastic, because Barton needs a boost, it always kind of has. And as far as the modern community up there now, when we were considering putting the donut up there, I had concerns about that, just because it's abstract art and it's maybe sometimes hard to understand, and it's not a slight on the Barton community at all. It's just I think that's something that's got a little more realism to it. It's going to be easier to identify with and understand for us up there. So I just think it's a great piece, and I'm very excited about it. So.
I don't have a problem with art or bison, but have you considered down the hill? And I don't want to take away from the firefighter. I know you say it's a beautiful spot up there, but
Yeah.
on the bottom of the hill, right at the trailhead.
Well, and we looked at that. One of the concerns that we've always had with our sculptures is vandalism, believe it or not. I mean, I think that the more opportunity to have it out in public or out in the open space, the less chance you have to have something vandalized. We have one piece that's in Riverside Park that has been tagged numerous times, and it's, that comes at our cost. We have to go out there and clean the piece and have, an expert go out there. And some of the pieces, we have a limestone piece that is forever tagged. You can't, you can't change that. I think, I've walked the site and I think we're far enough away. So, the one corner is the memorial, which I think is great. But then I think we can set it back a little bit. But I don't want to, and I thought of that area too because I was down. I was like, oh, this would be really cool. I just don't think people see it.
Doesn't have the visibility down there.
When the artist was so nice and he actually put it on the back of the trailer, it came from Green Bay because I thought, my mom lives in Green Bay, I'm in Green Bay all the time, and I'm not going to drag 15 board members all the way to Green Bay. So he was nice enough to bring it here. And I would say within 5 minutes of us having it there, people were pulling in and taking a picture. I know, we got a guy who was here for the Harley 100. He said, no, I was just on my bike, I saw it. He had his picture with it. Another older couple came. So that was within 5 minutes of the sculpture being there.
It's going to have nothing but positive impacts, really. And it literally has a road separating the firefighters part from the rest of that park,
I had a couple of people from the community that asked me about it because they saw that in the paper or whatever, and they questioned that too about having it at the park.
Yeah, there's no question there'll be questions about it, and any time you place a piece of art in the community, there's concerns.
So the Barton Garden too, it wouldn't get the visibility, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, the problem down there is, for one thing, we have to rearrange a bunch of stuff that we've already taken donations for to have done the way they are now, and so it'd be kind of disrespectful to some of those folks, and it would be a bit cramped down there too. I mean, it wouldn't be a terrible spot, but I just think that we're getting visibility from 144 and B coming in where that spot is up there that we looked at today. We'd just be getting 144 down the other one, so really it's the best spot.
And just to that point, Justice and I went to both spots. We kind of just watched, for a half hour at a time. I sat in the mornings. And Eisenhower really gets a lot of great traffic, but to Justice's point, I mean, we're taking things out, and you said there's some mechanical issues, there's some pipes sticking out. And
there's all kinds of utilities through underneath there, so it'd be hard to.
On the opposite side of the trail, I thought maybe you could go in there in this spot because, I mean, it's a life-size piece. It would have been really cramped in there. I mean, if the building right next to it wasn't there, it might be another story. But, and I was thinking a natural, beautiful setting. I mean, you can almost imagine, Native Americans follow the waterways. So I think it's just kind of a cool spot. And we can go up there and play with it. It's heavy enough that it's not going to go anywhere, when it's set, but it's also light enough that if we went up there collectively as a group, we can find just the right spot for it. So,
I like the bison sculpture a lot. I think it'll do great. But I'm on Mike's side a little bit because it really is a memorial for the firemen. And I just want to keep it as far away. If you move it right on the sidewalk, you see the ladder there, you're kind of missing the firefighters. I don't know if you can push it as far as back south.
We get some, there's that little
Right, you can kind of maneuver it around farthest south on that, flat plane there. I don't have a problem with that. I don't want to take away from the sign of the firefighters and the ladder.
I agree.
Because you come around the corner, you got that big bison, you're not going to see the.
Well, I also would be happy when we do signage, so we have Sarah Graff make all our signs, and we would be happy to start off with "Welcome to Firemen's Memorial Walk Park."
To go into the description about the fact that the buffalo, the bison run through storms. I mean, there's some really good visual, mental visual stuff they put on there that really relates well to fire. So, and we can explain that in signage.
The firefighters memorial, I signed that thing and I got the people there to put that thing up. And then when the park department put the sign up, I said, you're not going to put the sign up on 4x4. I said, let me go talk to the chief. I went to talk to the chief. And they said, you got a ladder we can get to put the sign on the ladder? He said, yeah, I'll get you. So we went out in the station and he said, we got the center fire guy up there and we got the ladder. But then he told me, I said, I suppose every time you got a fire, you're going to stop there and get the ladder. But anyway, the firefighter memorial bluff is on the left side of the driveway. And we got the power run up there. And if you put that on the right side of the driveway, that's 90 by 90. That's 8,100 square feet we got to work with. You got a lot of area up there, and the power is right there to light up this Buffalo at night. You got lights to shine on that thing if you want.
Yeah.
And the power is right there because we ran power for those Christmas trees. And there's a junction box. The one to the left, right next to the driveway, that's a junction box there that goes underneath, and then there's another box right by the trees. So you can pick up power anywhere in that spot really easy.
Jeff is kind of our partner in the story. For anybody that doesn't know who Jeff is, he's also a member of the HPBA.
I bought a brick from him.
Sure.
But I think it's a great spot up there. I mean, because you can get a lot of, visibility there. And I mean, since that Fairfield Memorial Park, or bluff, it's brought honor, it's brought respect to that area. So, but that's the left of the driveway. I don't think the Buffalo on the right side of the driveway, anywhere,
You're talking when you pull in.
Yeah, when you pull in, we got the whole, I just measured it this morning, I got 90 by 90 square, so you got 8,100 square feet to work for the Buffalo. You got a lot of room there.
I think we just have to get it up there and maneuver it around. I just don't want to take
We'd
away.
be happy to do that, we've got a whole crew. Oh,
You have it in town here, right? Or
Right.
the Buffalo is here somewhere, right?
It's in my backyard. If anyone would like to see it.
Does this-
I would invite anyone to come over, just give, get a hold of Justice or myself. I'd love to have you come over. If I'm not at home, we've got a couple acres, you just come around the back of the house and.
Is this something that needs approval today, or could it wait a month? If we could see it up there, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm not opposed to that. I'd love to have it, approved today. But if everyone really wants to have a chance to take a look at it,
'Cause I would like to drive around the corner both ways and see what it looks like,
And we can do, I have a teenage daughter who's fantastic at Photoshop. So she can move it around in different locations, and we can kind of see if that is pleasing to everybody. But one more thing is that the artist was actually born in West Bend, and they moved as young kids to Green Bay. And I didn't know this either, that the bison is Wisconsin's state mammal. Did not know. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm happy if, we'd like to get this set, sometime this fall if possible. Sometimes what ends up happening, we're getting hold of contractors and things like that. I mean, if everyone saw the swimming girl out here on the way in today, we've had that in our possession for a little over a year, and we finally got it set last week. So it does take some time.
And I know when we did that, it was brought down here, and we kind of looked at it to see how it fit before it got mounted.
I'm sure.
Once it's mounted, it's permanent.
Yeah, I mean, we can, so the bison right now is on wheels, like he attached wheels, and we had it on the back of a trailer, so it would be, a little difficult to bring it, back up and go this way. I think it would be easier to do with Photoshop, but I would love everyone to see it, if that would help.
Does that sound workable, Justin? If we
Well, we
wait a month, we could see it up there.
I'm sure it'll be approved, okay? But I just think everybody wants to kind of see, it's beautiful, okay? Don't get me wrong. And I'm positive it's going to be approved.
That staff and commission approve the location. What I'm saying, if there's a motion made this evening to approve this sculpture at that site, the caveat within that motion could be, as long as staff, let's say myself and Dan, and 2 commissioners were on site to approve the final location.
I go along with that.
I'm just throwing that out there I'm just trying to accommodate schedules and concerns.
No, I like it. I'll make the motion to approve the bison up there, but we should all meet as whoever can make it that day and just look at it.
Final resting location.
Sure.
Yep.
That's.
A little mini community and have a consensus on where it's going.
Choose that date or whatever, we can help you if we have to help you move it or whatever.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Are there any other thoughts on this?
Otherwise, we'll have a motion, we have a motion and a second to form a little committee, if you will.
Yeah, as long as there's approval with staff and commission
and then-
on site.
Right, it'll be approved.
And that's how, really we worked all our sculptures, it's just like the writing committee, even when we did the bird across from Museum of Wisconsin Art on the Riverwalk. We had the Riverwalk approved, and then we had to, I had an idea in mind for the site, and Jay Cheryl had a different idea. So we kind of, we worked together, and it's still on the riverfront, or on the Riverwalk, and we just have to, just
Figure it out.
Yeah, my concern, maybe we could move it a little south or something like that. I didn't like that spot for the tilted donut either at the time.
And to be honest, Justice and I had conversations about that piece. We want it to truly reflect the area, and we really do work hard at making a connection for the pieces and making it valuable for everybody. And the tilted donut, I honestly couldn't see a connection to the Franklin's Memorial at all. So I think at least this has a little bit more connection.
Okay,
I really like it. I think even again, the more people you bring into that spot, the more people that are also going to see the Fireman's Memorial. So I have that awareness. So yeah, thank you.
Right, motion and a second. Any other discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thanks.
Thank you for listening. Did anyone have any other questions? I'm sorry.
I think you covered everything.
Okay. I was very thorough. I'm a very thorough individual.
Michelle, I'll be in touch.
Okay, thank you.
Figure out a date and transportation and all that.
Up there.
Yep. No, we'll let everyone know, so.
Sounds good.
We're at donations.
All right, I've got a handful to rattle off. So the first one is from Westbury Bank's Charitable Foundation Board. This is the third installment of a total of $25,000 to be given in $5,000 installments over 5 years. So again, $5,000 for the Regner Beach House renovations. Thank you to Westbury Bank. The second one I have is from Quick Trip. It is their sponsorship for the 2023 Dirty Ninja Mud Run for Kids for $2,500. Thank you to Quick Trip. Third is Steiner Electric, also for the 2023 Dirty Ninja Mud Run for Kids for $1,250 for their sponsorship. Thank you to Steiner Electric. Next is Killian Management Services Incorporated, another 2023 Dirty Ninja Mud Run for Kids sponsorship for $1,250 as well. Thank you to Killian Management Services for that. Next is KBS Advertising. Colleen out there was nice enough to donate $2,500 off of the t-shirts that we had for their sponsorship for the 2023 Dirty Ninja Mud Run for Kids. So thank you to KBS Advertising. Another one from KBS Advertising. So Colleen and her staff out there were kind enough to donate the screen graphics for 6 of the programs that we run for a total of $210. Thank you to Colleen and staff for that at KBS. Next is the West Bend Friends of Parks and Recreation. They donated 2,000 lunches to all of the Dirty Ninja Mud Run for Kids participants this year with a value of $4,000. So thank you to all that are involved in the Friends of West Bend Parks and Recreation. And the last one that I have is also from the Friends of West Bend Parks and Recreation. With the growing pickleball craze going on, we found that we needed some more pickleball nets. So we, or the Friends, purchased 4 with a value of $519.02. So thank you again to everyone in the Friends of West Bend Parks and Recreation for that donation.
Attaboy.
West Bend Disc Golf Club, Josh Ham and his associates, $500 donation to improvements to this golf course. So thank you, Josh, and this golf course.
In fact, we received it donation, cash donation, it was a collection that was taken up for the families of Special Olympics athletes. And I wanted to do $18 that will go into the Regner Park. We thank these families for contributing to that. So that's what
Great. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve with our thanks.
Second.
Motion and second, any discussion? All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Reports, chairman. I'll just say tomorrow is Super Slide Day, and Sunday is the last day of Regner Park Beach being open.
Sure.
Again, I want to thank all the park staff, especially Ryan, for making it happen this summer.
Made a lot of people happy, Ryan, just so you know.
Yeah, the community spoke and they wanted it open, and we opened. I think there's some great ideas for next year, and it's going to be exciting. That's all I have. Secretary, anything?
And I just want to thank the staff and all the volunteers for the Dirty Ninja Mud Run. It was a big success again this year.
We got the quarterly trust report, just for viewing, no action on this. I know that the PARC fund shows 53,000, but remember that we approved 10,000 from the lights, and then lifeguard stands was 9,000, so actually it should be 23,900, which just probably wasn't updated yet.
the transfer wasn't made.
Okay.
In
Okay.
June, so the transfer wasn't made until July, so that's next session.
Okay. Any other questions on this?
Not a lot of changes this time of the year.
No. Okay. Thank you. And Rick, you have anything for us?
Well, I think I pretty well covered on our tour most of what.
You did a lot of talking.
Yeah, I think I pretty much covered it. Thank you.
Great. Dan?
Just a couple of things to touch on. Tomorrow we're going to be starting the installation of 2 solar lights in the parking lot out at LLC. So we're going to get the concrete in hopefully tomorrow. I'll let you know where it's going to be delivered until 30. Seasonal staff is winding down, so they're going to be leaving. I think that's what it is. In the process of going over applications for our opening, because we lost Luke about a month ago. We've got about 9 applicants, and roughly 3 of them at this point are probably trying to call. So Mike and I want to tell everybody over that. We installed a couple more memorial benches at LC. We did one at Riverside. We got a few more. We've gone through a new bench provider because the old ones were waiting 8 to 10 months to get. And then they started, I think they quit making them.
Discontinued that model.
I don't know if you noticed, but when we went by Carl Cuss, we got the last 2 flagpoles up. Staff this week cut out all the sod around all the flagpoles. We installed some aluminum edging around there, and we're going to fill that with red crushed granite to match the heads, the headstones with the memorials.
Wall of Fame.
Wall of Fame, yeah. So that kind of coincides with that.
The road looks nice too, just so you know.
It'll look really finished once that, you know. And now we're just starting to transfer into fall priorities. Monday after Labor Day, or the Tuesday after Labor Day, we start stumping. That's what we got done for our workshop.
Any questions for Dan? Thank you. Courtney?
No, we're going to go out to the summer
Sorry.
That was on my list. So yeah, we're excited to have 2 additional new solar lights to bring it to 3 at LLC to help with those dark concerns and evenings at rentals and the Mary walks. We had 3 celebration benches or memorial benches that were installed in the last month, and those are our last 3 final benches. So we'll be rolling out our new celebration tree program where you can now purchase a tree instead of a bench for your loved one. And I'd like to thank
our marketing and communications department, that they really helped us with getting the word out about us being a wedding venue, and we have a lot of weddings booked for 2024, so it's exciting to see.
That's
That makes you feel better, okay? Because it was going the other way.
Yeah, compared to 2 years. That's about all we have our new pier there that we used for Project Seek funds, and we had our largest roast sale at our plant sale. So those are kind of exciting things going on.
You say the last of the benches, so if you someone wanted to donate a bench, not a,
We
Black Lion.
no longer are taking benches. We've filled all of our available spots. So if someone wanted to purchase a celebration tree, it will come with a tag where you'll be able to celebrate that person, whether someone that passed away or wedding anniversary. We're hoping to plant out in the pine plantation.
are there any places for benches in Regner Park anymore? If somebody wanted to? No parks?
And that's, with the Conservancy, that was one of our concerns, and the board's concern, there's gonna be too many benches up around the buildings and things like that. And I'll say in Regner Park some areas, there probably is too many benches the way it is. But like on a Riverwalk, as we construct the Riverwalk, we're putting in bench pads, just like what we saw at Bicentennial. So when someone wants to donate for a bench, choose your pad. Which pad would you like? That's how many locations we have done. And it just expedites the process also.
Right.
It's easier for them, what location they would like to choose, and we can get them installed quicker than also that way, so.
Great.
Yeah.
Any other questions for Courtney? Otherwise, Ryan, you got anything for us?
Yeah, excuse me, yeah, a few topics to hit on. So first, recreation programs and swimming lessons are both done for the summer. Session 2 sports went well, staff was good to work with, no issues there. Weather was on our side for the most part, so happy with how that all came together. Swimming lessons, similar story, 6 weeks of those throughout the summer. Nikki Walters was the supervisor, she did a great job taking that, and it was kind of her area of responsibility. So it was always nice not having to stop in there daily, and I knew that it was being administered in a safe environment for all the kids and learning how to swim. Always good there. And then I should also thank Casey Gerber, who for the last 2 summers has kind of been my right-hand man for all of the recreation programs. So hoping I can squeeze one more summer out of him, but he definitely is a really big help to me in the summer. The mud run, so I guess first I would like to thank all of the sponsors again for their financial support. Obviously makes a really big impact in what we're able to do. Also would like to thank the city staff for their efforts setting up the course and all the behind the scenes work that Carol and Tanya do. The week of, Mike's out there helping, Rick was out there helping, and obviously all of Dan's guys and seasonals are out there working. Dan's guys and Monica are out there working for the entire week beforehand to get it set up. So again, wouldn't be possible without all of their efforts. And then the same goes for the volunteers. Volunteerism is obviously a huge part of that event, making it as successful and functionally positive as it is. So thank you again to everyone there. Kind of getting into the recap now. So for this year, our enrollment was 2,442, which was the largest to date. Again, in 2022, enrollment was 2,386, so we did grow 2.5%. We were shooting for a maximum enrollment of 2,650 this year with the adjustments that we made. So we were 92% full, which in my mind is pretty damn good, but obviously there's still some room to improve in the future to hit that goal. First, shoot for 2,500, and then we'll try and work our way towards 2,650. So really positive news there. I gave you guys all a handout that Craig Walker produced for us. On one side, it's kind of a view of most of the United States. So each one of those pinpoints is a unique zip code that was registered for the mud run. So it looks like north of Tucson, in between San Antonio and Houston. We'll call it New York City, Denver. So it's just crazy kind of the spread that we're getting for registrations. And then on the other side, it's kind of a more blown up of Minnesota, Wisconsin. So probably just about every zip code in Milwaukee, Washington, and Ozaukee County, all the way north towards Madison is hit. So pretty awesome to see that. Year two for me to kind of see it all take place and be a little more involved this year than I was last year. So it's an awesome event. Revenues this year, so we brought in around $81,665 in registration fees. We had $17,500 in sponsorship financials, and then we also had additional revenues in $990. So the Kona ice truck that was out there, they donated 20% of their sales to that day. And then Carolyn and Tanya were selling your previous year's t-shirt and headbands up in the Kiwanis or Rotary shelter. So $990 there. Total expenses were $38,645 with a total profit of $61,509.66. So pretty amazing stuff that we're able to make that happen in 6 hours the day of.
Well, more than 6 hours.
Yeah, right. So already looking forward to 2024 mud run, making it bigger and better than 2023, and I think that's going to be possible. So. Moving on to Regner Aquatics. As Mike Weston said, we're not 100% done yet. We still have the next 3 days, but I'll highlight as much as I'm able to at this point. So, pending some crazy weather change, 67 operational days this summer. I believe that there is going to be 5 total that we did not open at all. In comparison, there was 59 days in 2021, so extra 8 days. As of when we closed today at 2 o'clock, there had been 12,977 persons that had used either the pond and or the splash pad. Again, in comparison, in 2021, what was in the files that I have, there was 10,353 people that used either the pond or the splash pad. So I'm hoping over this weekend we should easily get to 13,000. Maybe we'll get to 13.5. So you're looking at about a 3,000% growth from 2021 to 2023. So pretty good numbers there. Of that, I'll just round up and say 13,000, almost 11,000 were wristbands, so 6,700 were youth and 4,200 were adults. The remaining 2,000 were free visits, so people that had a season pass taking advantage of those. Concessions this year, pretty limited stock right now, but I think that we will get to 11,000 in sales by the time that this weekend's over. Again, going back to 2021, the last operating year, or season I should say, concession sales were $5,475, so doubling that. And then in September, I'll report back on profit, obviously kind of the most important key of that. You can sell as much as you want, but if you're not making money, it really doesn't matter in my mind. So we'll report back on that. Preseason pass sales were down. 59 were sold this year. There was 111 sold in 2021. Regular season pass sales were also down as well. 60 were sold during the season in 2021, down to 33 this season. Self-admittedly, I guess I might have been a little over ambitious with my pricing increase on those, but during the off season I'll do a little rethinking and see if an adjustment's necessary heading into 2024. The Square point of sale system that was implemented this season has been received very well and appreciated by those that are wanting to pay with card versus cash or don't have any cash on hand. Cash has been 56% of the sales So about $36,500, and then the remaining 44% was credit card transactions, so about $28,250. Overall, I guess to kind of recap the season, I thought it was definitely a success and a step in the right direction after not being open in 2022. I guess for me personally, my thought is that there's definitely areas to improve on in the future. There would be days here where it's 90 degrees out at 4 o'clock in the afternoon and there's 20 people on the pond, and for me, striving to be the best that I'm able to be in my position, that's not acceptable. So I want to find ways to draw crowd here and keep it busy from 11 a.m. until 7 p.m. as often as possible. So as Mike Weston alluded to, I'm hoping to have some fun things to propose during the September meeting, but to be determined. And then last but not least, from my side of things, fall programming, registration's underway. Carolyn and Tanya did a great job setting everything up on the back end of things on Web Track, excuse me. Enrollment's off to a really strong start. A handful of our dance programs are already full. Wait list there, which was always good. And I anticipate strong enrollments throughout all of our offerings. So that's all I've got.
Next, we're gonna get ready for ice skating.
Yup, ice skating.
Well, thanks, Ryan. Again, thanks for everything you did. Any questions for Ryan? Mike, the director, anything?
First of all, thank you to the commissioners for the extended meeting this evening. We always appreciate your time. The park tour is always important to us. I mean, it's good for all of us to get together, spend a little time with each other. And we did mention 2 citizen groups this evening that we want to continue or start working with. One being the skate park and one being the All Abilities Playground. If any of you have a burning desire and would like to volunteer or become more involved, please let me know. You already spent enough time volunteering here and many other things, but if there is an interest at some point in time, just let me know and we can at least include you with emails and things like that. You know,
You're good at that, Mike, too.
you know, I've tried to include Mike and Craig on some of this. And again, I don't want to be every day you get an email from me, you're just going to delete them. But as these things are growing and developing, I want to make sure the commission's involved. And at some point in time, if you want to become more involved, let me know. I'd certainly welcome your time and talent. So thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone. Like you said, the tour, yeah, it's wonderful to be able to go around and check out all what's going on in the parks and the river walk and everything. So. Anybody have anything for good of the order? Otherwise, let's adjourn.